Before I start the video, I know I took a long time to post these predictions. I mean, it's already Friday where I'm at. Could be Saturday. By the time I post it, we'll see. But really the only reason is because I was just way too lazy to post this. Because, well, I mean, literally we didn't have a whole week of UFC. And this one is kind of mid in my opinion, but, you know, still got to make predictions. So, first fight on the card, Montana de la Rosa versus JJ Aldrich. I'm going to go Montana de la Rosa. I think she's just a better striker. And all around, she has all right grappling in my opinion. JJ Aldrich is not that good. We saw her last performance. I mean, she's max all right. I think Montana de la Rosa will win by a 29-28 unanimous decision. Next fight up the card, Nate Maness versus Mateus Mendoza. I'm going with Mendoza to win this fight. I just think he's the more powerful fighter. I know he did just lose to Basra, but Basra is not a bad guy to lose to. I mean, he's a very good fighter. I think Mendoza will be able to knock out Nate Maness in the second round. And this is why I think this. He's just faster. And I think he's more powerful. In my opinion, he's more powerful. So second round knockout. Of the card, Vanessa Demopoulos versus Kanako Murata. I think it's pretty obvious who's winning. I mean, she literally is the minus 300 favorite. Kanako Murata will win by domination in my opinion. I think she will absolutely destroy Vanessa. So this is how I think it will go down. She will be able to find her range and she'll be able to get the knockout in the second round. Up the card, Aorli Chelang versus Johnny Munoz. I'm going with Aorli Chelang. I think he's the better boxer. I get that he has not that very good of his chin, but when he wants it, his boxing is pretty crisp. And also, he's not lost to very bad guys. So yeah, late in the first round by knockout. Next fight up the card, Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Diana Belbita. I'm going with Belbita mainly due to the fact I think she's a better boxer. Even though she just swings, I still think she's a better boxer. The wrestling might be a problem, but I think she'll be able to do stuff with it. We'll see what happens. But I'm going with Belbita even though she doesn't look where she strikes. By probably decision, 29-28. And I'm also choosing her because she's fine as fuck. Up the card, Felipe Lanes versus Ion Cutelaba. I'm going with Felipe Lens. I think he's the better fighter. He's more well-rounded, and his boxing is much more faster than Cutelaba. Cutelaba, I think, is more powerful, but Felipe Lens, if he wants to, I feel like, especially if he wants to be very, very fast, he could do it during the whole match, outpace him, and he will TKO him early in the third round. Now we're on to the main card. Alexander Hernandez versus Bill Aligio. I'm going with Bill Algio to win this fight. I think the striking there's a clear striking difference between Alexander Hernandez and Bill Algio. All Alexander Hernandez really has is the wrestling. And if he can't get that off, he will get finished. So I think Bill Algio will finish Alexander Hernandez in the second round. Up the card, Drew, the best chin in the whole UFC, Dober versus Ricky Glenn. I think it's very obvious who's going to win this. Drew Dober is going to dominate Ricky Glenn. When I mean dominate, he's going to Khabib his ass. Look, this is how it's going to go down. First round, Ricky Glenn is going to try to strike with Drew Dober, which clearly does not work. Drew Dober is going to dominate him in the striking room. Second round, Ricky Glenn is going to try to wrestle. Drew Dober is going to find a way out of it. And then in that same round, the second round, Drew Dober will knock him out with the sexiest overhand everybody has seen in the whole UFC. Next up the card, Alex Morono versus Joaquin Buckley. This is another easy one to predict. It's pretty obvious Joaquin Buckley is going to knock him out probably in like the early first round. Morono is a brawler, but he's not a good one. He doesn't have a good chin. Ponzinibbio knocked him out. So I'm going with Joaquin Buckley to knock him out later in the first round. And now for the co-main event, Joe Pyfer versus Abdul Alak Rahakazan. Of course, I'm going with Joe Pyfer, but I think this is a harder fight than people make it be. Abdul is a powerful striker, and if he can get an overhand, I can see him knocking out Joe Pyfer. But I still think Joe Pyfer will win by a first round knockout. This will not be leaving the first round in my opinion. So Joe Pyfer by first round knockout. And now for the most mid-main event of this month, Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. Let's be honest, Grant Dawson is gonna wrestle fuck the shit out of Bobby Green. Bobby Green has zero chance. The only way I see him winning is by knocking out Grant Dawson, which is a very low chance. Grant Dawson will wrestle from the start to the very finish. Grant Dawson by 50-45 decision. Those were all my predictions in under 5 minutes.